what's up DIYers, Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. We're talking dishwashers today. In today's video, the step-by-step process on how to properly and safely replace your pump, motor, and housing. Let's get started. All right, DIYers inside the kitchen now. Here's our Whirlpool dishwasher, and safety first always. Cut all electrical power to the system. You got an outlet down below underneath your sink. Ours is labeled dishwasher. Grab the plug itself and unplug it. And while we're down here, locate the actual water line that feeds water to your dishwasher. In our case, it is this lower one right here, and by twisting it clockwise, you can close it. Now, no water can actually get to the dishwasher while we work on it. And real quick, if you got a garbage disposal, here is our drain hose. We're not going to unplug it yet. Going down below, in our case, we've got a lower panel and an upper panel. We are going to remove both of these. You've got a Phillips screw on the left-hand side and on the right. Go ahead and remove those. With both screws removed, I can actually push this panel to one side and shift it out from underneath the upper panel. You will notice the lower panel actually tucks behind the back side of the upper panel. Carefully shift this out and set it aside. From here, in our case, in between the gap of the bottom door and that upper panel are additional Phillips screws, one on the left-hand side and one on the far right. Go ahead and remove those. After removing those screws, carefully shift the upper panel off and set that aside. After removing those panels, I inserted a towel, and we are going to need that towel because we are going to disconnect the water line that feeds water into the system right here. I've grabbed an adjustable wrench. In most cases, it will be a 3/8 fitting and connection. Go ahead and turn this counterclockwise to loosen it. And once you can do it by hand, this will leak some water, just be advised. And not bad at all. A couple other things. Here is your power cord. We are going to carefully pull this through the cabinet wall. And here's the opposite side of our drain hose, which connects to the housing and is secured by this clamp. We will compress that and remove the drain hose at this point here. Coming back down below the sink, and there is where the power cord feeds through. Carefully shift it through. And what I noticed, in order to get this plug through that little hole, I've actually got to pull the water line all the way out from underneath the dishwasher and through this hole to give me more clearance to pull that plug through. Making progress. Again, this is the line that feeds into the water inlet valve and provides all the water to your system. And now we can have much better clearance to push this plug through that hole. Go back down underneath the dishwasher and pull that power cord all the way out. And just like that, the power cord is out, and I've grabbed some pliers. We are going to remove that inner clamp that secures that hose to the housing. And as you compress this clamp, just work it back off the housing, and from here you can carefully shift this hose off of the housing. And be advised, it is going to drip. I recommend taking it off slowly at an angle. Look at that. It's going to leak some water. We've placed a bowl in place to catch it. While that drains, come back up top, and we are going to remove just the lower rack or basket. Some remove both. It's your personal preference. After removing that lower basket, come to the top portion, and your dishwasher may be secured with screws. In our case, they're on the side. We've got two 11mm bolts that go through the dishwasher and secure it to the cabinets. As you can see here, we'll remove both of those. Both bolts removed. We'll go ahead and close the door, come back down below, and remove that bowl. And on each side you have leveling anchors here, and just by lifting this portion of the dishwasher up just slightly, you can spin this in to help create a better distance or gap for your dishwasher to slide out. Again, the dishwasher empty is pretty light. You can basically lift it by one finger, as you can see. And in our case, turning it counterclockwise, we'll raise that leveling anchor, and we'll do this for both sides. What we'll do next is carefully unscrew the spray tower, and might be a little tight. There is a seal that creates a watertight seal here, and we're just removing the spray tower from the opposite side of the housing. Back down below, I removed the wet DIY Raptor towel. I carefully shifted the drain hose to the side, and you'll notice the back side, the dishwasher rests on wheels. So from here, I'm going to pull the dishwasher out of its space and carefully rest it on its back on this blanket. Carefully grab at the very bottom and just slowly shift this out. Come back down below, make sure your drain hose is not caught, and continue pulling. And here's what it looks like with the entire dishwasher pulled out of its opening there. And you will notice, for the drain hose, I actually put an additional towel down to catch any and all water, as well as to soak up the water that leaked onto that wood floor. Back to the bottom portion of the dishwasher, you've got an electrical connection that feeds power to your motor. Compress this tab and pull this connection out. Set that aside. Coming down below, you've got an additional hose that is clamped into place. Go ahead and compress that, shift that clamp back, and remove that hose. And now I can pull it off by hand. And this may leak too. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Great. From here, this larger hose is held on by a clamp. Go ahead and loosen up this flathead screw. Loosen the screw until the clamp itself can shift and come up to the top. The actual motor is held in place by these two little metal clips, and you can shift them out of the respective holes. And once you do this, the weight of the motor will put pressure on this opening down here. You want to carefully shift that motor out and remove it from the hose. And as you do this, do not put any wrapping or twisted pressure on this hose. You do not want it to rip. And it's kind of heavy, just be careful. Here it is. Next, what you can do is carefully shift down, and this little rounded portion that secures to the motor shaft will pop out of the groove here, and you can remove it. This goes on the new motor. Motor and housing is removed, and from here, I'm going to grab some paper towel and clean the gunk off the hoses, as well as this little rubber seal inside here. Now it's time to reverse the steps and install the new motor. Again, out with the old, in with the new. New motor is back in and all secured. Make sure you shift this hose all the way flush and secure it with the clamp. Again, that creates the watertight seal. Shift this hose back on and clamp it into place, and be very careful as you insert this portion of the housing into the bottom portion of the dishwasher, because there is a rubber seal that creates the watertight seal here. You do not want to harm that. Come up top and secure the motor with the metal bracket. And last, we will resecure the electrical connection. Just like that. And I spent about 1.5 minutes and vacuumed out the entire insert area where the dishwasher is. And what we'll do now is lift it back up and carefully slide it back into place. One last thing, prior to putting the dishwasher back in, I applied some more Teflon tape in a clockwise manner in the same direction we will be tightening that water fitting. So in the event that your Teflon tape is pretty beat up, go ahead and remove it and apply some more Teflon tape. Back to the old motor. If you're curious how the spray tower connects to the upper housing there, it just secures itself to that thread. To the back side, and all I'm going to do again is shift this dishwasher back into its cutout. Here's the back portion if you're curious. Dishwasher shifted back in place. Resecure that spray tower, and you'll notice little notches out of the plastic ring there. Go ahead and carefully set the spray tower in place and go ahead and tighten it clockwise. And do not over tighten this. This is plastic thread, but you do want it pretty snug to create that watertight seal. After securing the spray tower, before moving on to anything, what I recommend is properly positioning and aligning your dishwasher. And another trick you can use is a adjustable wrench and help turn that lower balance stud. And what you're looking for is when you open and close the door, it doesn't hit on either side. After that, I inserted and secured the side bolts. Yours may be up here. Just take that into consideration. Coming back down below, what we'll do is re-secure that drain hose. Push the drain hose all the way on. Be careful, don't harm it as you do that, and then re-secure this clamp. Making progress, the drain hose is reinstalled and secured with the clamp. Now, let's go underneath the sink and feed the water line that connects to our inlet valve through the cabinet wall and reconnect it. Carefully align the hose and insert it in the elbow fitting and push in. And what you'll do is re-secure this line by tightening the nut. Hand tighten it first, make sure you are not cross-threading. After hand tightening it, go ahead and grab your adjustable wrench and secure that nut. Do not over tighten it, but you do want it snug. After securing that water line, double check everything is re-secured and rerouted properly, such as the power cord. And where water leaked right here, we'll let that dry. Back underneath the sink, we will turn our shutoff valve counterclockwise to open the water and allow that to flow to the dishwasher. And we'll carefully plug the dishwasher back into our outlet. Back down below at the water line where it connects to the elbow to the inlet valve, now that we have supplied water to this fitting and the inlet valve, check for leaks. Make sure that there is no water leaking from this fitting and all looks good. Insert the lower basket or rack. Carefully shut the door again. We are making sure everything is properly aligned and not rubbing on either side. I'll reinsert my drawer and toss the old motor. Here are the tools that I used during the project. And the Dyson vacuum to clean up had some assistance from my Buckmark flashlight. And we're not going to install those lower panels because we are going to wait until we've got a full load, and we are going to run the dishwasher. And from a distance, we are going to have the flashlight position, look down underneath the dishwasher and check for leaks. I highly recommend not putting your fingers, hands, or arms underneath and inside that bottom portion of the dishwasher while it is running. You do not want to hurt yourself. All right, DIYers, it is late at night and the dishwasher is full of dishes. We are going to run our test cycle and we are going to check for leaks. Once we turned this knob to normal, it made a very unfriendly grinding sound. And so far, so good. Again, we're gonna come down below and check for leaks. Check the fitting where the white water line connects to the elbow on that inlet valve that we disconnected earlier. You wanna check for leaks there. And during the entire cycle, you wanna check for any leaks underneath that drain hose, as well as the upper hose that we took off and put back on with the new housing, and that upper gasket way up there where the housing secures itself to the bottom. And the motor should be turned on now. So again, just monitor it through the cycle. Quick update, we are just shy of the dry portion of the cycle at the very end. It is draining right now. DIYers, hopefully this helps. Hey, do us a favor, below the video you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We would really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.